One of the things I thoroughly enjoy about One Rental at a Time as it grows is we're getting more and more awesome people reaching out to us. I have the one and only Jesse Lang, who's been investing for 10 years, investing in the Midwest,
Yeah.
executing Burr. So we're going to talk to Jesse about what she's done, where she's been, where she's going, all that good stuff. Jesse, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Happy Friday.
Happy every day Saturday, Jesse. Every day Saturday.
Every day is Saturday. Yeah, what a life. I love it.
There you go. There you go. Well, Jesse, do us a favor. Introduce yourself to the
Yeah.
audience. Who are you? What you do? All that good stuff, and we'll kind of get into your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Mike said, my name is Jessie Lang and I invest here in Columbus, Ohio. I started about 10 years ago, kind of as an accidental landlord. I, grew up in Austin, Texas, and we were lower middle class, nothing special. Went to college like you're supposed to. And then they tell you, you know, get married, get a job, and have kids and buy a house. And so, I didn't do all of them, but I did do some of them. And I bought a crappy little condo in Austin for $92,000. And this was
Wow.
like 2012, 2013.
Okay.
Uh, and I had two roommates. I had my partner at the time and then a Craigslist roommate. So if that
Wow.
dates, yeah, yeah. I know it was pretty bold. I just knew I couldn't really afford the mortgage. And so I made do with what I had.
So,
And this
so
was
I want to peel this back because again, that's so
yeah,
you were house hacking before it was a term,
didn't
right?
even know it was a name. Yeah.
Didn't know it was a thing. So, I'm guessing it was at least a three bedroom, but maybe it was a two bedroom. I don't know.
It was a three bedroom. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had a three bedroom condo. Did your partner share some of the cost or just
Yes.
the Craigslist roommate? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
So he paid a third, she paid a third, and I paid a third.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
so you just divided it down,
I
evenly.
was, I was still paying and then we all split the bills. So I
Okay.
was living and I'm telling 92K, like I think the mortgage was like $800 or something. So
Okay.
we were still living pretty cheap.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So that's 2012, 2013. Um, where do you go from there? So that's,
So,
you're starting
yeah,
with the house hack.
couple years go by, have my W-2, it's an entry level job, not great, but I have almost no bills. So I'm saving up
Right.
some money and my partner and I split. So this is just a couple years after buying it, Austin, Texas. I knew it would be insane to sell it. Like I grew up there. I was watching what was
Right.
happening. I was like, I'm keeping this at all costs.
Right.
Then I knew that I couldn't live there personally because, the emotional ties. And then I
Okay.
knew that I couldn't just pay for a mortgage that no one was living in.
Hmm.
So in the span of 2 weeks, I went from like a happy, healthy household to four college boys renting my house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I joked that they could have easily stopped my real estate career before it even started if
Sure.
they were terrible, but they were fantastic. So I was like, okay, this isn't so hard, and was just fully making it up as I went. Like I think I
Wow.
Googled like Texas lease agreement or
Right.
something,
Okay.
and I was doing it all wrong, but it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did it two more times.
All
I
right. So
bought
you break up with your significant other. You lease the place to four college guys. It works out. Where do you go when that
So
happens?
I was just renting a room from a friend because it was also quick. I
Yeah,
was
of
there
course.
6 months or so before I could save up to buy another house and do it all
Okay.
again.
Okay. It's
And
still
then
in
I'm
Austin.
still in Austin. And a year later, I did it all again.
All right. So you're up to three house hacks, all single families, like condos, houses.
Yeah, yeah. The other two are like fully single family.
Okay. So two single families in a condo. So we're probably what, 2015, 16 at this point?
Yeah, nailed it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Well,
have
yeah.
roommates again. I mean, I'm the most of them have worked out on Craigslist. One is actually like my best friend to this day. So
Wow.
it worked out. One was terrible, but overall I'd say it was a good experience.
Okay.
And 2016 comes around. I've had my same job this whole time. I have had people paying me rent. I'm living for free, saving a ton of money. And I'm like really starting to realize the power of real estate,
Hmm.
but I don't take it seriously. So instead, I quit my job and I go travel the world for a year.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I spent all of 2016 living in 12 countries for 1 month each.
What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? I just gotta ask.
So I know it's such a popular question. My favorite was actually in Cusco, Peru,
Oh,
which
Peru. Okay,
yeah,
I've been
it
to Peru.
doesn't.
Yeah.
The city itself is pretty touristy, but I had personally a lot of growth. Really good
Okay.
health. I fell in love.
Ah, well,
Married
there you go.
today. Yeah, married, still married. So like, it all worked
It
out.
worked. Okay.
Yeah, just that had some really good personal growth that year.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
sorry, the month. Least favorite, we were in Phnom Penh in Cambodia,
Uh,
and they're coming out of a genocide still, just a couple decades. And yeah, it was kind of hard. There's like a missing generation. I
yeah,
mean, really. So
really.
it was kind of a hard place to be, but
All right.
eye-opening to the world. Yeah.
So I guess just staying because I had no idea where this conversation is going. So 12 countries, 12 months. Um, you had to be a different person at the end of that than the beginning, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I had traveled a decent amount through college. Like I said, we grew up, lower middle class. So and I was making good money with real estate, just kind of making it up as I went. So every time I could travel, I've spent a couple years out of the country. So,
Wow. All right.
um,
And you were able to
yeah,
do that mainly because you were accidentally a landlord and had 3 house hacks. That was maybe you had some savings obviously going into that year, but a lot of that was kind of, doing it by the seat of your pants, house hacking, right?
yes,
Oh,
100%. I'm making it up. By the third one, I kind of realized like what worked, what didn't.
okay.
But still, I had no formal training, no coaching. It was like, what do I need
Mhm.
today? Okay, solve that problem. What do I need
Right.
tomorrow? Solve that problem. But one thing it did provide me, so the cash flow itself, I mean, I think I was making like $1,500 a month. Like when you're traveling, that actually doesn't get you super far.
Mhm.
So I wasn't fully living on the cash flow, but what it allowed was the security of if something went wrong, I knew that I had a backup plan.
Right.
So come like month 8, month 9, I was like fully out of money. I blew through all my savings. Like it was a life experience. What
Yeah.
do you do?
What do
Yeah.
you do?
So
Yeah.
blew through my savings, and I saw the writing on the wall and was like, okay, I should probably think ahead. So yeah. So like about
Maybe.
2
No
yeah.
money, think ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So about 2 months out before I really was like uncomfortable with my level of savings, I talked to my agent and was like, hey, I'm going to sell a house.
Okay.
So I didn't know about refinancing at the time, which I like he's still my agent. So I kind of like, yeah, kick him. And I'm like, yo, man, I just needed money. You
Yeah.
could have
Come
told me
on,
about,
dude.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could have told me to refi, but you're like, yeah, okay. So I sold a house, and I joked that it was like real life Monopoly because, ran out of money, sell a house. Now I have money. And
Yeah. So which one did you sell? One, you had 3. Did you sell the first
I
one?
sold, I sold number 1. Yeah. The
Okay. So
condo.
you sold the condo.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
it
now,
had, it
now
had,
you're 4 years into it. You had some equity, I'm guessing,
yeah, 200K.
of equity.
Yeah.
You bought it
Austin,
for
Texas,
92. You sold it for roughly
almost
300.
300. Yeah.
That doesn't suck.
It does not suck. I mean, I got a deal, and it needed a lot of work that I put in over time, and the
Sure.
market just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Austin, Texas like that. I mean,
Timing.
yeah,
I mean, timing. Timing. But
so
still, now you suddenly go from broke to Monopoly Man.
yeah.
Did those last 3 stops you just balled out, or what's going on?
No, that's not who I am. No, no, no,
Okay.
no.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm only now 10 years into investing, like kind of loosening my pocketbooks, and
Okay.
only a little bit.
I
I'm
like it.
incredible. Like
I
most
love
investors, like I don't pay full price for anything. I'm so frugal. Like
Nice.
I drive a Prius. Like I have very,
You are frugal. I like
yeah.
it.
And it was until like 2 months ago, it was a 2006 Prius,
Oh,
but
wow.
I upgraded to a 2021. I've upgraded. So
Woo!
it looks better. Yeah.
Dude, you're a baller.
I know. And we have 70 units, and I'm driving this car. Like
Oh,
I don't
folks,
want
there's a
it's like,
lesson in that. There's a
yeah,
lesson in that.
it really is. I mean, they say like, most investors, like we won't pay full price for anything.
No,
If I'm not getting a discount, I'm not buying it.
oh, I love this. I love every part of this conversation. Okay. So you come back from this year of growth and finding your love of your life. You sold a house. You're a little bit more flush with cash.
Yeah.
Do you come back to Austin or where do you go?
Nope. So I knew I didn't want to go back to Austin. My wife was living in New York City. She knew that she didn't want to go back. I still, even though I made, $200,000 on a house, I still wasn't taking real estate seriously. I don't know what, I mean, I don't know
Do you
what I
need
was.
to be hit with a hammer or something?
Yeah. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have any coaches. I didn't have
Oh, wow.
any,
Okay.
I didn't know anyone in my entire life who was like doing real estate as a career. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was an option. And this is, I'm college educated, world traveled, but
Yeah.
I never was aware that I
Yeah.
could make this choice, right?
Believe me, my story's the same. I got to 30 years old with an advanced degree and as freaking accountant, econ degree. No idea what real estate was. No idea. No idea. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I
All
didn't
right.
know it was
So,
a career. I just thought you could. I was like, cool, I made some money. Like, this is great.
yeah, that's amazing. So I'm curious. So you and your wife, you come back, you go to where does Columbus, Ohio come from? I mean,
Yeah. So
kind of random.
one of the it's super random. One of the I honestly, Texans were kind of in our own world. So I couldn't even tell you where I
Texans are in their own world.
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm glad you said that, not me.
it's no secret.
No secret. It's no secret. Bigger in
I don't
Texas.
even
Everything's
think I could have told you where Ohio was on a map. Like, I mean,
it's
honestly,
north. It's
I was
north.
like, oh yeah, like what? Ohio, what? Who cares? So
Is that a state? Where is that? Is that a
I
city?
know.
What's going on?
I think I've heard of it. That's about as far as I've got. So I
This is
this
so
is how I
awesome. I
end up
love
here.
this.
In in month 6 or so, we were supposed to be in Istanbul, but it was during the bombings. There were,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
uprising. So
Yep.
we rerouted last minute to London and
Okay.
spent a month in London. I was introduced to a brewery called Brewdog. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
so
that. I've
if
been
you
to
know
London.
Brewdog, oh, very nice. Yeah. So if you know Brewdog, there's 70 or so locations around the world. I kind of fell in love with the brand. They have an investment model. I invested some money. So then we both knew we didn't want to go back to where we were from. And
Okay.
Brewdog was coming to Columbus as the
Okay.
first like brewery stop in the US. They built a brewery facility, tap room. There's a hotel out there. So it's like the size of a Walmart. I mean,
Wow. Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
huge deal. So I applied and got a job on their like commercial build out team. My background's in project management. So I was building bars, built a restaurant,
Wow.
like built a
Okay.
hotel on the commercial side.
So this is where are we now in the timeline? Like 17?
2017. Yeah.
Okay. 2017.
Got
All right.
me to Columbus. It got us to Columbus,
I like it.
which I
All right.
never in a million years would have moved here. Like I'm telling you, it was so far. I mean, I probably would have never moved, like honestly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
was there 18 months. It was fun. I loved it. The whole time I was going to my RIAs, I was meeting people.
We're starting to get serious.
Starting to get serious. But so many people in their corporate jobs have like the golden handcuffs. I'll just be transparent with your audience. Like they were paying me $45,000 to run multi-million-dollar projects. There was a huge misalignment. So
Yeah.
I think I was like, I still had like the, golden, like the first 6 months, everything was bright and shiny and nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
And then like holes started being poked. And I'm like, I'm working way too hard for someone else. So I'm being introduced to like real estate as a career through my RIA, meeting people who like are really successful and they're down to earth. And, I thought maybe like a real estate investor, you have to have a ton of money or you have to, I don't know, just be super smart or well-connected, whatever it is.
Right.
No,
Right.
you don't.
No.
I'm meeting people that aren't that.
Wow.
So I'm being introduced to, okay, this is a career and the career I thought I wanted is fun.
Garbage.
Yeah, fun, but like I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm
Right.
working way too hard for someone else.
Okay. I like it. All right. So
So
then
I
now you're in Columbus. You guys still have the 2 units in Austin, right?
still have 2 in Austin.
Okay.
Yep. Still didn't know about
Rhea.
refinancing.
Ah,
So,
gosh.
yeah, unfortunately. So I'm down to 1, but I know better now. So
There you go. There
I
you go.
did end up selling another one to start my real estate journey.
Okay. All right.
So again, I
So
know,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I know that I just said you don't need a ton of money, and then I turn around and say, well, I sold a house and now I have a ton of money. I actually didn't. Like, I mean, we were paying stuff off. Like I'm saying, I was making no money for a couple years. So I needed some help.
Yeah, you just so
Yeah.
what was that? What did you start looking for? What inspired you at Urea? Was it the whole Burr concept that someone introduced to you, some speaker, or
Nope.
did you
Nope.
Burr again? What did you do
Nope.
in Columbus
I
first?
didn't actually start burring until January 2021. And I'll
Oh,
get to that. So I went full-time real estate August 2018.
oh,
But
okay. All right.
I was wholesaling everything.
Okay. So you were
Yeah,
wholesaling. So you were buying. So were you buying out of the MLS? Were you doing mailers or what? How were you
direct to
finding?
seller marketing. I did through my RIA, I did like a wholesale academy type thing.
Hmm,
Learned how to
okay.
wholesale, didn't make any money for 6 months, blew through a ton of money, like was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is a
What
huge
is going on?
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made my first $5,000 wholesale fee, and I'm telling you, it felt like just all the money in the world.
That is
And
awesome.
my first buyer was Michael Jackson.
Really?
I mean, not the Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
a Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
You'll
Michael
ne
Jackson.
you'll never
So
forget that.
that man, I'll never forget him. Yeah, he was a good
There you go.
guy.
All right. So you're hoteling in 18. You could do that through 19 and 20. You got an estimate how many transactions you were a part of, approximately?
Through those years, 30 to 40. I mean,
Oh,
nothing
there you go.
insane.
So it's
We're just 1 to 2 a month.
once it started, that's what I want people to hear is because everybody goes through that dry 6 months where they
Oh my
question
God.
themselves, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Then you get the first one, you get proof of concept, you get a little better. Then the deal flow starts. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah. Yep. So it was a slow trickle, but it did pick up, and I was able to save capital to start buying and keeping
Ah,
stuff because remember, like I had gone through this. I bought 3 rentals with owner occupant financing. I
yep.
knew that real estate's sweet, but I was like, oh, 20% down. Like I don't have that much money. So I'm
Right.
saving 20%, saving 20%. Oh man. We ended up with about 11 units that way,
Okay.
doing it the wrong way. I mean,
Okay.
knowing
Yeah.
what I know now, I call them my early mistakes because I didn't know. I mean, I was a newbie, right?
Yeah.
And so,
So again, I want to highlight what you're doing. So you're creating chunk money with hoteling,
yes.
right? Creating that margin.
Yep.
You're saving that money. Then it sounded like you're just going back to banks and buying with 20% down. So what it sounded like?
Yep.
Were
Yep.
you also moving in and making them house hack again, or were these are just straight up
No,
rentals?
so yeah, so thankfully, since I moved to Columbus, I've never had to have a roommate again.
Okay. All right.
We've upgraded our house every couple years since we've been here. Like I love my home now. If you told me to get a Craigslist roommate, I would tell you screw off. Like,
Yeah, not happening. Even
yeah,
though those worked
absolutely
out
not.
at the beginning, not happening. Not
Yeah,
happening.
that's when I was young and much more mobile. I mean, we're like pretty established now, so not happening.
Okay.
But so I was buying with 20% down. So it was taking so
Yeah.
long to buy anything because I was having to save 30, 40, $50,000.
Hmm.
We were buying 4 units and that kind of thing. But I knew the power of real estate and was like, there has to be a better way. So
Okay.
I got a mentor. I got a mentor January 2021. And the entire message. So by that point, I was wholesaling. I had dabbled in flips, dabbled in
Mhm.
Airbnb. I got my real estate license.
Wow.
I was doing
Jeez.
it. I know.
You're
Well,
doing it all.
I'm,
Yeah.
I don't just sit around.
I
Like
guess not. Yeah.
I'm always doing something. So over those couple years, I tried everything, and my mentor said, "Stop all of that.
Nice.
Pick the one you like, and get really good at it."
Yeah.
So
Become elite at something. Yes.
correct. Yep. So I
Okay.
was just like kind of okay at a bunch of stuff, and nothing really was taking off, just kind of spinning my wheels.
Mm.
So I got super clear about Burr. I knew that long-term rentals was the way to go. Like I made 200K in
Yeah.
couple
Buy
years.
inflation is a feature, not a bug, right? Owning assets is the way to go. Got it.
Correct. Correct. And I knew I wanted to be wealthy, not rich, not only rich, right? So I knew this was a long-term game. So I knew it was long-term rentals, and I knew that the way I was doing it wasn't right. So I was introduced to Burr, was like, you know, it all just clicks. And since
it
then,
really tied together everything you did, right? You know how to get off market deals. You know how to negotiate a price. You can create room. You've done flips. You've done these. So
I had been a landlord already, like housing
you've done it all.
provider.
Oh,
I had done it
no.
all. And there are quite a few components. You know, there's 2 banks involved. You need to do a decent size renovation depending on what you're buying. So it's not a super entry level strategy, but
No, it's an advanced strategy.
yeah,
I call it an advanced. It's
I would say
great,
so.
but it's an advanced strategy. Yeah.
I
The
would
problem I have with Burr is actually not Burr. I've done probably 30 or 40 of them over 20 years. But I hate any real estate strategy that's sold as easy and you can build a massive portfolio with zero money. I hate
Yes.
that message because it
Yep.
attracts a certain kind of person who
Yep.
will bust out 99% of the time.
Yep. And I think my big bone to pick with the coaching industry is the none of your own money.
I hate
So
that.
if you do this correctly, in theory, at the end of the Burr, you do have none of your own money in the deal. Like that is true, but you need money to get to that point.
Exactly.
So buy with none of your own money. I yell at everyone.
Yeah, you and me both. I get pretty animated. And there's also timing involved, right? There was no better time to do Burr than 2020 to 2022 and a half, right?
And a half.
Yeah, and a half, right? When everything was straight up. Burr's got to be a lot harder today.
It is.
It has to be,
Yeah.
right? Which means you can still do Burr, but I'm gonna guess you're planning on leaving some money in the deal today.
Correct.
You just have to.
And we're banking on about 1/3 of the cash flow that I used to underwrite with.
Right. So again, I want people to hear this, right? Burr still works, but again, everybody selling Burrs get all your money out. And heaven forbid you get private money. That drives me bananas. Let's go borrow all the money from some, DSCR loan, and then I'm going to get my mom or dad to kick in the repair money. Then you get to the end of this and you realize, whoops, sorry, mom and dad, can't get your money back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a calculator that I use to underwrite everything, and there's a huge call out. It's called cash at refi. And if that number is negative, that is money out of your pocket.
Exactly.
At the time of closing, and the bank will make you pay them to close the loan.
So,
and if you have the money, you're stuck.
They're done, right? You're a forced seller. You just become a forced seller. You go from 11 units in early 2022. I think you said earlier 70 units today. So you have been cranking on this Burr thing.
Yeah, we're doing about 25 a year.
And you're keeping all of them.
Yeah. I do like 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 3 flips a year to kind of, keep the lights on and, pay for my new Prius.
The new old Prius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. So I do a couple flips, but if I possibly can keep it, I am keeping it.
So when you look out and you think about 8 or 9% rates, because it's probably 9% refis today, although rates are down the last few days.
Pretty close.
Do you slow down?
No.
I love it.
Absolutely not. No,
Okay.
I don't, because of the region where I'm investing. I have studied Austin and Columbus, and there's a lot of similar economic factors.
Ooh,
the Midwest is booming for real estate. People are leaving the coast, they're coming central. Like I said, I didn't even know anything about Ohio. And I am actually like a pretty big fangirl now. Ohio is fantastic. Everyone is so nice. The cost of living, I mean, the weather's not great, but the summers are nice. It's just an easy place to live. It really is. It's a fantastic lifestyle we have. So that's attracting people. It really is. And I don't think people know Columbus is actually the 14th biggest city in the US.
Fake
Swear to
news?
you.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm
We
gonna look
just
that up.
passed San Diego.
Wow. All right,
Yes.
taking out San Diego, Columbus. Shout
Yeah.
out to you.
I think it may be 13 now. So we're booming. We have a
Yeah.
huge housing shortage that's predicted for the next 10 years. You know, yes, rates hurt. I'm not here for the cash flow.
Okay.
I am
So what are you
here
here for?
the equity and the principal pay down.
But you okay? Hold on. You just crossed the red line for me.
Let's
You're
hear it.
so you didn't say this, but when I hear people say that, I have to dig in.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
when
let's go.
you do your cash out refi, will you accept negative cash flow?
No,
Okay.
not
Well, then
today.
you're
And next year I may. If we keep
wait,
going to work today, I won't. But like I
but
used
okay,
to
listen.
not.
Oh, hold on. Time out. Remember the audience watching this. Yes,
Okay.
you have 70 units.
Yeah.
Yes, you can wash a negative with a positive. I get it.
Yes.
But that's not most people. Most people get into this, they get out of a burr, they have to, and again, my first property I refied made an alligator. That's what I call negative cash flow because an alligator is painful to be eaten by. Um, you can't have negative cash flow. It's unacceptable, in my opinion. Now, if you have
Okay.
70 units, do your thing, but most people, that's unacceptable. Leave more money in the deal, is my advice.
Okay.
Versus negative
I
cash flow.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
I would love to I'm not there yet, so I haven't underwritten anything with negative cash flow. But
Oh,
even
okay.
no,
Okay.
well, I've underwritten it, but I haven't bought it. But even a year ago, I wouldn't leave more than 10K in a deal. Today it's closer
Just
to
as a
20.
rule of thumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's my buy box. But
Yeah.
now it's closer to 20 because it's the only way I can buy real estate.
Exactly. Okay.
And
I got it. I feel better.
I am telling you, yeah. And I won't today accept negative cash flow. I understand how a new investor like literally could not. But when you have 70, we'll probably be at 100 by the end of next year.
I will be at 100 by the end of the year.
By the end of next year,
I love this. This is awesome.
I mean, at that pace, I can take it. And
Yeah, of course.
goal is, when rates come down, I refi and I get out of it. And,
Right.
I maybe pull out some equity at that time. All I know is that we don't buy on speculation. The numbers make sense today, but
Correct.
history says that real estate increases in value and someone else is paying down my principal. So I'm willing to take the risk.
Do you only get 30-year arms, or are you gambling on like 5-1 arms or 30-year money? Do you get arms when you refi? What do you do?
So my DSCR lender right now is actually better terms on a
Okay.
30-year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a lot of them are today. It's shocking,
Yeah.
right? That's not normal.
I know. I was surprised.
Yeah, DSCR loans. Yeah, fixed for 30. That's good. How do you want to wrap this up? How should people follow you, reach out to you? Again, you're probably doing lots of amazing stuff. How should people follow
We
you?
are. So I run a Facebook group called Unlocked, and we
Nice.
do I go live trainings every Tuesday, 2:00 Eastern. And
Okay.
what else? Lots of, freebies, giveaways, all that stuff. It's a really active community. So I
Okay.
would say, can you post the link?
Sure, of course. Yeah, just
Cool.
send it to if
Yeah,
you want to
so
send
I'll
it to me
share
in a
the
chat or text or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I'll share the link
Nice.
with you. But the Facebook group is the best place to be.
Just
I hit-
unlock.
Yeah, it's Unlocked. Learn to buy and manage long-term rentals.
Okay. Yeah, send me a link. I will make it the first line of the description. Jesse, you are amazing. I'm so glad we connected. We should do this again. Congrats on everything. It's
Yeah, thank you.
this is fun to hear. All right. Have a wonderful day.
It's been a wild ride. Yeah, thanks
There
for
you
your
go.
time.
It's just starting, Jesse. You've got decades ahead. So
I know.
enjoy the ride.